Hello, everyone. If anyone's there. I think I need to go to Winder's Waters for a sec. Where was the Warptaru here in Woods? Oh yeah, by the Chocobo Stables. Okay. I'll be going into first-person view a couple times because I need to get good shots of certain areas. Hey, Leo, man. Basically, what these streams are going to be like is I'm just going to go around to every zone that I can think of, every zone that I know, every zone in general, if I can get there. And I'm going to be viewing every cutscene that I can find, everything like that. And I'm going to really be trying to capture a lot of good footage for me to then be able to go back later and be able to try to edit them together, if at all possible. I got some ideas that might work. Also, hey, Star. This is going to be a lot of hard work for me to actually edit all this together. But it's going to be worth it. I mean, this game means a lot to me, as you guys found out the other night when I did the final mission of Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. I still am reeling from that, in case you guys didn't know. Yep, they wanted me to go see Non Amigo on that one. That was a long time ago, buddy. So in a way, we're just kind of playing the game vicariously again from day one. And I have to make sure to ride the airship at some point. Definitely got to ride the boat between Mara and Selbina at one point. And I most definitely have to ride the Mana Clipper in Bibiki Bay. Okay, I didn't expect it to play the quest complete noise. That was like, what? Good news is I'll be having a lot of this dubbed over, so I don't even have to worry about if I'm talking to you guys or not, so that's a thing. But as you can probably guess, I have the preview window full screen here, so you ain't gonna see all the extra guffs and gibbons on the side there. Hell, I might even fight the primals at some point. Yeah, indeed, random talk, Leo. Hello, level 1 Celt. How you doing? Just as a fair warning, the next series of streams that I'm going to be doing for 11 may not be interesting, but it will be a trip down memory lane, I'm almost positive. Well, I certainly appreciate it. Come here, Mr. Bard. I actually need to. There is something I want to show off that I don't know how many people know about once I get the chance. The Heber Jeebers. Whee! There's one cutscene I do need to find again. And I'm thinking I might actually have to find that in shit. I forget the name of the zone. I know the zone, but I can't remember the name of it right now. It's the one in Merfitude Mountains, the Ugudo place. Castle Lodge Troja, that's it. Most of these cutscenes most likely won't be... Oh, yay! Yeah, thank you for showing me getting rank 8, apparently, even though I'm rank 10 in all nations. That's so goofy. I wonder if that's a glitch, but hey, whatever. I just hope I'm going to be able to have the editing skills that I'm going to need to make this video what I want it to be. I'll certainly do my best, but it's probably not going to be perfect. But I guess that remains to be seen. There's a lot of cutscenes here. Indeed. Hey, Dreamer. Okay. Well, that was it for the mission cutscenes in this area. Oh my god, that's... Maybe the cutscene things is a bad idea. Holy shit. Yeah. Well, at least I don't need to do the quest ones. Maybe I should just stick to the mission ones. That seems like an idea. Now, of course, some of these might be disjointed because they might be out of order. I don't really remember, because the ones here that I'm getting from the Bard are all from, well, the Winder side of things, obviously. Okay. I forget how silly these three were. Logic! You're hopeless. Hey, Yosh! Oh, hey, Star. I forgot to say hi to you, I'm sorry. I saw you in here, I just... Oh, my brain's freaking dead right now. Do you speak Gitaru? God damn it, Dreamer. Father, Daddy, Dad. That was kind of fun to say. Father, Daddy, Dad. Hashtag Father, Daddy, Dad. Oh my god. Dreamer, what the fuck, man? Oh, I did? I don't... Did I? I thought I... Leo! Wow. I never actually noticed the reference to Final Fantasy VI there, believe it or not. Because the opening line there, munch, munch, chew, chew, that's something that fucking Sabin and Cyan say when they eat the food on the Phantom train. But then again, it's... Yes, exactly, Leo. Now that's a mob I don't know. I don't think we'll see in 14 anytime soon. The fucking Rarib. But I mean, we have I don't know, the things that are called rabbits, but they're not rabbits. At least not these rabbits. Yeah, that too, there, Dreamer. Necromancer. Oh, Borderlands, I'm thinking. Oh, cool, Leo. Munch, munch, choo-choo. Yes, I know. I have that one as well. I just don't really play Borderlands 2. You know, it's funny. I have both Borderlands 1 and 2, and I've not played them all that much at all. Neither one of them. Why the hell am I running from the Bard? Don't run from the Bard. In mommy's tummy. God damn it. Oh shit. Damn it, Yoshi, you're going old school on me here. A miserable little pile of circuits, but enough talk. How about you? We're from Tavnazia. We were blown through the air over the seas and mountains. We come to meet you, Father. Oh, dear God. But you can definitely tell there's a fuck ton of differences between Lalafell and Tarutaru, though. Well, for one thing, Lalafell actually have knees. I mean... You can be a Lalafell, but not a Tarutaru. They're similar, but not quite the same. Dilly-dally, shilly-shally. Yeah, okay, I bet. Not really. We have proof in Tavnazia, but we don't have any money to get back there. Aww. Just get out of my house! Out! Lol. I got examined by Aitana. Very nice try to beat Altana, but I think it'll work. You cannot beat Altana. Only Altana is Altana. Oh dear God. These little Tarutaris are going all over the place going, hey, where's my daddy? We were at Mommy's tummy when you were separated. Mommy's tummy. Oh my God. Could he be our grandpa? We come all the way to Tavnazia, from Tavnazia to search for our father. Oh. Karaha Baruha. The Summoner of Fenrir. Mom Taru? What about Dad Taru? Oi. Okay, who are the Kulu? What about the Zillart? How about Bahamut? What? Who is Nagmalata? Lol. Interestingly enough, the one guy actually did get the questions right, but not really. Because, like, the Zillart are perished except for Kamlanat and Eldnarsh. The Kulu are gone except for that one dude in Temple of Ugalepi. And Bahamut, well, he was brought back, if I'm not mistaken. Disappointed! Crikey spiky hair. It is a little hard to understand without the context. I was thinking that the cutscenes would have given more context than that, but it's been years, man. I may not be able to use really much of that, but we'll see. I'm gonna have to use some clever edits, though, I think. Wish I would have been able to get that outfit right there. Wait, not that one. Wait, yeah. Hang on, who? Stupid Gilmy, apparently. Would have been nice to be able to get, hey, my Gimbu shield's better than that. Cool. But, it would have been nice to, actually get some of those reforged relic armors and stuff. But I figure it is what it is, you know? Where's a good shot for what I want to do? I do feel like maybe Winder's walls. Yeah, because the Star Sibyl, or the Heaven's Tower, whatever the hell it was called. Is a very iconic point in Windurst. You can see it off in the distance right there, actually. Star Tree. I think that's what it was called. I choose Finnegan. Hey, another bard. Will you have different cutscenes for me? Oh. Oh, shit. Yeah. All your Pokemon belong to me. Oh, dear God. Hey, it's Sean Toto. Wait a minute, nothing in that line freaking rhymed. You've done well, but the fact that a ragtag adventurer such as you could bring together all 5 rings, something about that just chills my bones and make me cringe. That doesn't rhyme. Silly Shantoto. This undertaking will most likely leave a mark on Winter's history, and now that we have all of the ministers in act, Apuru won't have to shoulder all the blame, will she? Oh man, this is where I really wish that there would have been something like the Never-Ending Journey in 11, where you could just go to one central location and access all your cutscenes, as opposed to hunting them down. That's starting to make me feel like hunting down the cutscenes at all is a bad idea, and I should just concentrate on, you know, going through all the old zones. I'll figure something out. The Federation of Windurst, an ancient capital nurtured by the boughs of a great tree, blessed by magical waters and protected by the star Sybil. There is a legend in this country. In a time forgotten, a people forced to wander by starvation and cold were led to this land by a wondrous star. When that star returned to the heavens, it sent to the earth a spiritual medium, the first star Sybil, who could hear its voice. She promised Windurst glory and prosperity. Dun, dun, bum, bum. I'm sure that event will come back around at some point, Star. An age passed, and a time of destruction drew near. The moon fell into shadow, the stars grew silent, and the people lost their way. Those who found the light again were those who knew themselves, those who knew courage, those who knew justice, those who knew the truth. And then there came one whose determination would create a new future. That radiance would be as a beacon for all that lay ahead. Once again, a star of hope has been born to this earth. A new tale will begin here, woven by the myriad stars of this universe. Why am I here? Okay, thank you. Double thank you, I guess. Arg. Hello, what's this? Oh. I think that was something for one of the cutscenes, or not cutscenes, add-on scenarios. You know, in a way, guys, it is a little hard for me to realize, not realize, it's a little hard for me to believe that after all this time, I'll finally be, you know, letting go of 11 completely. And to me, that's sort of an awkward feeling, because as I explained back in the last time I streamed this, when I was doing Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, when I was doing that, I mentioned that I've been playing this game since December 15th, 2003. Okay? I want you guys to think about that for a second. That means I started playing this game when I was 17. Okay? It was a couple of weeks after my birthday that year. So, when you think of it that way, and the fact that I played this game non-stop, well, not literally non-stop, but more or less. Like, I played it every single day that I could. I played it every single freaking day that I could. From December 15th, 2003, till approximately, January something. I don't remember exactly, but it was 2013 when I initially stopped, whenever Final Fantasy XIV went pay-to-play for the first time. Because the idea was that I wanted to like 14. I did, but I struggled and struggled, and I just couldn't like it. That is until my friend Neon Demon, aka Villainy Maldul, told me that the game was in a playable state now. Or not so much a playable state, but at least one that it was in a lot better shape. And then I came back, and I played with Vel and a couple of my other friends for a few months after that. But I was playing 11 on the side as well. I'd switch back and forth between both games every day. And what ended up happening is even Square Enix themselves said, okay, the game's pretty much starting to thrive now, so I think it's time that we actually let it go pay to play. Okay? And they ended up letting it go pay to play, and I'm thinking, okay, alright, you know what? I'm liking this game a lot right now. Maybe I need a break from 11. So I'm going to take a couple of months off. And I decided I was going to pay for 14 for a couple of months instead of 11. Because there's no way in hell I could afford to play both. Dude, if I could, I would, right? I don't remember you playing at this particular time, though, Dreamer. I don't think you came until a little bit later. That's why I didn't mention you, man. But all the same, where was I? Right. I had thought that I just wanted to play 14 for a little bit. Like I said, take a couple of months off, pay for 14, and then eventually go back to 11. And with that, I ended up not going back. I stayed with 14 from the time that it went pay to play till the time that 14 was going down from 1.0 to transition into a Realm Reborn. And during, I think, what was it, 3 or 4 months that 14 was completely down? I don't remember exactly, but it was down for a while. And it was that time that I'm thinking, okay, well, I can't play 14 right now. I can't pay for that. But I do have things in 11 that I want to do. And I thought, okay, I'll pay for a month or two of 11. Get my shit done. And that's when I came back, and that's when I started busting my ass off a hell of a lot more for Mjolnir. I had already gotten my hammer to stage 2 at that time. So it was the Relic stage 2 weapon. No, it was stage 3, I think. It was stage 2 or 3, I don't remember specifically. But, yeah, so I came back with the goal of getting Mjolnir. Even though I thought I was done with 11 at the time, but obviously I wasn't. And it was thanks to Dreamer, Rognir, and Teratar that I was able to finish my Mjolnir. They busted their ass off and helped me. And I even proved just how dedicated I was to getting that hammer. Because, as you can see, I have Thief 99. Okay? I actually took the time to level my Thief to 99 so I could start using that in Dynamis to increase the money flow, to increase the coins, to help my progress even faster, as well as help, you know, Rognir, Teratar, and Dreamer in the same process. So I came back, got my Mjolnir, which was awesome. I actually think I have footage of that still that I never got around to uploading. You know, so any updates from Mjolnir. If I do still have that footage, and I hope to God I do, I'll definitely be adding it to this memoir thingy that I'm doing here. So yeah, like I said, I came back with the intention of doing that. Alright, I need to do this. Anyway, like I said, again, I came back with the intention of doing that. It was also around that time as well that Samay bought me Seekers of Adulan. And I wanted to go through that storyline, but it obviously wasn't fully realized yet. It was one of those scenarios where, you know, it's how they did it with, like, COP and stuff, where you buy the expansion, but the entire story's not available yet. So, I ended up doing as much of that story as I could, but then, you know, 14 was coming back, and I'm like, okay, I've got my Mjolnir, that's what I wanted. That was the last milestone I needed to achieve before I could say, okay, I'm done with 11. You know. And I quit again. I didn't come back to 11 at all. I thought I was done. I had my Mjolnir. What else was there for me to do other than the story bits? And there was this one day that I got an email from Square Enix saying that 11 was free to play for a week. And it was to coincide with them releasing the final story of the main scenario of Seekers of Adulan. So I thought to myself, you know, I could take advantage of that. And I came back just for that. I came back, finished Seekers of Adulan, and I thought, okay, I'm good. That's it. That's the last thing I really wanted to accomplish. And again, I was away from 11 for, shit, man, about 8 months after that, or might have been over a year. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Seekers of Adulan wrapped up earlier this year. I'm pretty sure, sometime around maybe January, February-ish, and there was a free week. And then I didn't touch 11 after that. And then from there, I just played 14. And then, well, I got another email on the 13th, actually on the 12th, that said, in order to correspond with the final chapter of Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, the ultimate scenario for Final Fantasy XI. When I saw that, I was like, okay. Actually, I saw this email after I did the Rhapsodies of a Maiden in Final Fantasy XIV, the crossover event. So I wanted to know more about Iroha, because when I was doing the event in 14, I thought it was Ayame, which was a character in Bastuk who looks almost exactly like Iroha and is a samurai. So I thought it might have been Ayame that just simply forgot her name and forgot her past or whatever. And the fact of the matter was, she had memories of things that I had done in Vana'diel, like the Shadow Lord fight, all that stuff. So I thought, yeah, this is definitely Ayame, because I'm pretty sure she was there for those things. And so, like I said, I checked my email on the 12th, and I found out that Final Fantasy XI was going to be free from November 13th, 2005 to 2015 to November 24th, 2015. And I thought to myself, okay, I want to know more about Iroha. Clearly, this Rhapsodies of Vana'diel seems to revolve around her. And with that in mind, that was when I decided to come back, and you guys saw that. You guys saw what I went through. You guys got to see that entire story arc, which was cool. Which apparently requires progress from everything you've done, except for the mini expansions in Abyssia. So you didn't need it didn't really require a Crystalline Prophecy, a Shantoto Ascension, or a Mughal Coup d'Etat, and it didn't require any of the Abyssia expansions. It just required Vanilla, Rise of the Zilart, Chains from Mafia, Treasures of Ottergon, Wings of the Goddess, and Seekers of Adalin. I feel like I missed one in there. I don't think I did. But yeah, it required all the main expansions, and you had to have progressed so far in each one of those expansions. And so that was when I decided I want to come back. I want to do those storylines. I want to do Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. And that's one of the reasons, guys, that when I did do that final cutscene, I broke down as hard as I did. Because it was one of those things where all throughout history, like all the time when I was playing 11, all the time I was playing 11, I always wanted to see the goddess Altana, but she was never revealed. She was the biggest cock tease in Final Fantasy 11. You'd see her statue, but you never saw her. Fuck, in Change of Promathia, you get to fight Promathia himself, the opposite god to Altana, the god of darkness, the Twilight god. But you never got to see Altana. It's like, what the hell, right? You know, and things of that nature. So, I got to see Altana in Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. Sari became a goddess of light. That was crazy to me. But it was also implied that she died at the end of the fight with the Cloud of Darkness, but was resurrected by Iroha as her final sort of gift to us, which is what gave us the blessing of the Phoenix. And to me, when I think of all of that, and I think of everything that I've been through in this game and everything Sari's been through, it was overwhelming. I saw it all come full circle, and when I realized that I could finally let go of the game, I could finally put it behind me without any more things to tie me to Vana'diel, other than I just love it here. It was one of those things where, like I said, I was just emotionally overwhelmed, and you guys saw the result. And that was powerful as shit to me. I busted a gut, man. I fucking bawled my eyes out. And, yeah, it was nuts, to say the least. Exactly, Leo. There was just no way I was gonna hold back. But also, too, Yoshi, the thing about it is, man, that's what Rhapsodies of Vana'diel is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the ultimate scenario. In other words, it's the concept of they added that because that was the last major update for 11. They're not updating this game anymore. They're not adding any more content at all, other than minor things like bug fixes and things of that nature. So don't expect any new Final Fantasy XI content, any new storylines, I would say, until 5-10 years, if the game doesn't just straight up just die before then. But I tell you, man, if I was ever given the chance, like, to play this game again, I probably would. And by that I mean, if 11 ever went free to play, or had a way that you could get game time without actually spending real life money, shit yeah, dude, I would do that in a heartbeat. If anything, like, even if I didn't just play the game to play it, there's a good chance that I would want to, at the very least, you know, use it as a blast of nostalgia or whatever. Like, come back and just visit Vana'diel from time to time. So, I mean, that's a thing, you know? Okay, that should be good enough. I want to check my friends list right quick, see if there's anyone on. Yeah, they are. Looks like Sevian and Kelvin are doing a skirmish at the moment, and Nex is just in Port Sanduria. Uh-oh. Okay, that was weird. I thought my computer froze for a second. Aw, man. Vana'diel has a lot to offer, guys. Like, I don't know what it is for me, personally, but Vana'diel, as far as I'm concerned, feels a lot more alive than Eorzea does currently. At least to me. You guys might not feel the same way. But I have a deep love for Vana'diel. I really, really do. Like, you guys have no idea. I mean, I've played this game for a long time. And granted, there are things that I've never done. And probably never will do. Like, I've never, well, I have done salvage at least once, but I've not really done much. Well, I mean, I've done pretty much everything there is to do without doing everything there is to do. Because, like, I haven't done any of the Voidwalker stuff. I've never done Walk of Echoes. I'm sure there's a bunch of NMs I've never seen. I've not really done a lot of the H&Ms, but for the most part, I feel like I can safely say that I've completed this game. Which is crazy. I mean, on a technicality, I haven't, because in order to properly do that, I guess, you would have to get all of those to 99, which I don't want to do, as well as get every one of their, like, ultimate armors and their relic weapons and all that stuff, and I'm like, no. That doesn't really count to me. What does is I've done every storyline, the main scenario of the storyline anyway, and I've done, the goblins. Love these guys. So yeah, I mean, it's been real. But the thing is, though, Yoshi, this game has been around since 2002. So, yeah. But now, here's something that I want to tell you. You see how right now, well, you guys are not seeing it like the way that I am, but I'm getting 60 frames a second. Like, my computer is running this game pretty much flawlessly, right? But it wasn't always like this. When I first played 11, guys, when I was playing this game for the first time in my life, I was playing it on a not so stellar Dell PC. Like, we're talking, this thing didn't even have 512 megabytes of RAM. It had fucking 256. 256 megabytes of RAM. That's all it had. Didn't have a graphics card, didn't have any of this crap. And when I was playing this game, just like when I used to play League of Legends for the first time, which, by the way, was on that very same computer, might I add, okay? I was only getting 5 to 10 frames a second wherever I went. And as a healer, you can bet your ass that was hard to deal with. Okay? But there was a solution that I had to do. All I did was I would do this. Like, seriously, if I was in a party, this is what I would do. I'd go into first-person view mode, stare at the fucking wall, and I would target people that way with the party list, and I would freaking heal them. And I didn't even have a controller the first time I played this game, so I was having to do that with mouse and keyboard. But I think you can click their names on the like right here. Yeah, no. Well, I don't know. I don't remember how I used to do that, but I did. Like, no, right, the F keys. F1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you could do that. And in 2004, I managed to get my first PS2. The very same PS2 that's right here beside me. Complete. Well, I already had the PS2, rather, but I couldn't actually get the PS2 version of 11 until, I think, later on, around mid-October 2014. Why do I keep getting the year wrong? 2004, I meant to say. And, I got the network adapter and the hard drive, and I started playing this game on PS2. And thank God I did. Because my computer, there was no way I could play this thing on computer any longer back in the day. And the PS2 ran it flawlessly, at least compared to my computer. Eventually, though, I did actually get a computer that could run it. And, yeah, so that was pretty, that was a thing. I actually had to deal with that. And, also, howdy, Zimmy Pop. But like I said, eventually I did get a computer that could run this a lot better. And it was also around that time that I got a gamepad for PC as well. So that's when I started playing on PC the most. I played it on PC exclusively from then on because I could map my gamepad to be exactly like it was on PS2. And I did. So for me, that was a godsend. And yeah. But also, too, I was the type that I didn't even play with macros either, so... you probably even got a glimpse of this when I was trying to relearn the game the other day. I barely used my macros. I was opening my my freaking magic list, and be like, fuck it, like, there's haste, I'd do that, and stuff like that. I almost never used macros ever. Like, that just wasn't my scene, man. And since that were the case, I didn't even use gear swaps, like, yeah, it was rough, like, it really was. And, again, I was playing this game when it was considered hardcore, by the way. Like, there wasn't a lot of these conveniences. There wasn't a lot of, just things. It was all over the place, man. Like, if you wanted to party, you'd have to sit here, you'd have to throw up your flag, seek party, wait for someone to say, party, do you need it, EXP, things like that. Frickin' wait for Crapkerm Dunes to pop up. That is Valkerm Dunes. And, I don't remember, was one of these walls walk-through, or was there a gate? I'm trying to remember. Like, I came to this Horototo Ruins for a reason, and I don't remember exactly what. I know there's a false wall or a secret passage here somewhere. I think it's on the south wall here. But yeah, like, it was rough, man. I preferred doing things manually, but eventually I did sort of give in and realize, wait a minute, I can still do shit manually with macros, right? But... it is what it is. And eventually, I started getting into the gear swap scene and things like that, but there's still things that I didn't want to do, and, like, there was gear I just didn't want to use, and one thing, I didn't want to bow down to the average user either. Like, if I wanted to melee, I damn well would, and I did. That kind of thing. Yeah. And I was also playing when there was no EXP cap on how much EXP you could lose in a single shot. So, I had to deal with down leveling a lot and things like that. You would always lose 10% of whatever your TNL was. Or was it 15%? Hell if I remember. And it was crazy, man. Like, this game had a lot of stuff that just goes like, what the hell, man? And so yeah, there was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. You had to travel everywhere. There was no home points everywhere, all over the place. And also, too, the EXP was a lot fucking higher. Like, we're talking, it was like 60,000 EXP just to get from 50 to 51. That was before they made it easier to level and all that stuff. So it was, I think it was around 80,000 EXP, maybe 150,000. I don't fully remember, to get to 75 from 74. So you were looking to lose a lot of EXP if you managed to die, especially at the higher levels. And yeah, it wasn't fun. you know. And then eventually they made it to where you didn't really have to worry too much about that. And it really sucked, too. Because, like, say, for example, you died and you only got to raise 1. You're like, shit, I just lost, like, 2,400 EXP. Or, no, actually, it was more like you lost 15,000 EXP or some... No, yeah, about, like, 8,000 EXP or some nonsense like that. And you're like, shit, there goes, like, an hour of fucking time. You know, so you were mad. You would get really, really mad just at dying. And then you had people expecting you to death warp here and there. Or, like, to use death as a shortcut. Like, I remember there was this one time we were doing one of the Rise of the Zillart missions. And there's this one, like, little bump at a cave entrance. This one little tiny little nub that you cannot go up over. That, instead of, like, that forced you to go through, what was it? The one volcano area. I can't remember the name of it. The one where you'd go to Ifrit, that place. I don't remember the name of that volcano or offhand. But yeah, you'd have to go through that volcano and actually go past where the Ash Dragon was, which was a huge, notorious monster at the time. And it sucked because they expected you to sit there and die so that they could tractor you up the thing to make it quicker and easier. So that was a thing. And it was like, if you were in an EXP party, man, like you wanted to get your level, there was a chance that what would happen is you'd get your level and then die and just freaking down level. And you're like, well, shit. And, like, every time you died, man, it was dumb. It was so dumb it hurt, you know? So, yeah, so like I said, I was playing during those days. Fun stuff, though, eh? Boom, 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 boom. Wha-bam! Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah, there was that too, man. Like, you had to sit there and rest for your mana. Like, oh my god. And it takes like 10 seconds or something for the first tick of mana to actually kick in when you're, like, just sitting there trying to rest. And, like, holy crap. Oh, this game was so slow-paced back in the day. Also, this was when, like, getting 200 EXP a kill was considered the norm. Like, it was brutal, man. And, like, you never got parties for any fucking thing. Like, ever. Aha! Kicked your own ass, didn't you, buddy? Oh, goodness me. Oh, man. I remember back in the day... See, I used to be a White Mage Summoner, despite the fact that everyone and their mother was trying to tell me to be White Mage Black Mage, you know, with my sub job, and I did not want to use sub Black Mage, because, well, to be fair, I didn't like Black Mage. Ooh, 4,727 on that Realm Razor. Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, we were trying to, but yeah. Like I said, I have a lot of fond memories about this game. I really, really do. And I remember there was this one point in time where, like I said, I used White Mage Summoner for the longest time, but then there was an update where Paladin got auto refresh as well, which was the very reason that I was even subbing Summoner to begin with. So I started using White Mage Paladin. I know, it sounds like a weird combination, but for me it worked. It worked out really well. But everyone and their mother mocked me for it. Because they're like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, what does Paladin sub offer you? And I'm like, well, it offers me more strength for when I melee. It offers me more vitality for if I take a hit. It offers me Shield Bash, it offers me Sentinel. All in all, it makes me a more survivable White Mage. And it does. There's no denying that. And there was this one point in time where, you know what, I'm gonna use Hexus Strike for old time's sake. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah! Fucking love that weapon skill. And, anyway, I was in a merit party out in Nigel Isle, which was the bird camp, where everyone used to merit at level 75. The party setup that we had was me as White Mage Paladin, 4 Warrior Ninjas, and a Bard Ninja. So, with that, and, you know, yes, I was meleeing, because I could, and I knew what I was doing, there was this one point during our fights that the Bard accidentally pulled too much. And I backed off, because I needed to rest a couple ticks of mana. And, you know, I managed to keep my mana up to keep the party alive. But there was this one point where this one warrior was having trouble getting his Utsusemi back up. Utsusemi is shadows. It's blink, basically. And with that, he kept getting interrupted. I was completely out of mana. This was the last enemy we needed to kill before we could actually rest and recharge. And it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out of mana. This guy's about to die. My 2 hours down. My martyr ability is down. Okay. I'm sub-paladin. Screw this. Sentinel jumped in front of the guy, used cover. You know, so I'm sitting there tanking for this warrior while he gets up shadows, and then the moment that he gets his shadows off, by the way, this was really cool. Once he got his shadows off, I backed off again, and we managed to kill it. So because I had Paladin sub, I was able to do something that no other healer would have been able to do in that situation. So you tell me, you know, sometimes you gotta be fluid. You can't be so strict that, oh, you know, White Mage Scholar, best sub ever. White Mage, Red Mage, best sub ever. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Sometimes it depends on the situation, and sometimes if you use your, you know, if you use your subs to your advantage, then you can do things that would otherwise be unheard of. You know? Like, I've used Shield Bash before. You know? I've totally used Shield Bash in parties before, and that, you know, with that in mind, and it stunned the enemy to where, you know, a nasty move would have otherwise done a lot of damage. No, I stunned it, and we didn't have any other stun, you know, to speak of with that. So, yeah, and it's it's one of those things where that's the one thing that I love doing. People questioned my choice of sub-paladin a lot back in the day, and I had to sit there and explain it to them why I used it, like what was good about it, what it benefited. And the thing is, I actually had a few other people realize its merit. And there was, you know, a lot of people using White Mage Paladin for a few months before Scholar came out. But then, of course, Scholar came out and was too good, so you couldn't pass it up as a sub, and then White Mage Scholar was like the ultimate thing you could be. Anything else was just gimp. And it was like, what are you doing, SE? You know, that sort of thing. And, yeah, so... like, hell, even right now, I don't know what the norm is right now in 11. Obviously, I've been out of the loop for a while, but right now I'm sub Red Mage, fucking Red Mage, man. I'm White Mage, Red Mage, and I don't see that. I really don't. But my logic behind that is again the same principle behind why I used to sub Paladin back in the day. You know, like if I need mana, all I gotta do is cast Refresh on myself, and I'm golden. You know, I'm good there. And then, you know, if I need, you know, if I need extra mana, like I'm really out of mana, well, I've got Convert. I can just use, bam, Convert, swap my HP for MP, and I'm good, you know, I'm good to go there. And then on another side of things, you know, it gives me additional fast cast, and I don't know what the cap is specifically, but I know sub Red Mage pretty much gets me there, so I don't have to worry too much about haste gear. If I don't really want to. I have the haste gear and stuff like that, but I don't have to worry too much about it, and I have end spells for when I'm meleeing. So again, it's just, I love it. It's like, I can't think of anything better for me. You know, and hello, hey West. You know, and another thing, one thing that I'm kind of amused by is back in the day when Dancer was just coming out, I leveled Dancer to 37. I don't exactly remember why I stopped, but I leveled Dancer to 37, and then I guess I got bored of it or whatever, because I started using Samurai. Because I started using Samurai myself around the time that I was where's the word I'm looking for? I was in between moods, I guess, because I was so bummed out by this time when Secret Treasures of Ottergon came out, because no one was using white mages for anything. Like, why use a white mage when you can take a red mage? You know. So, red mages were, like, everywhere. No one was taking a white mage. It was almost considered gimp to have a white mage. I was never getting invites for merit parties. I would sit in town 6-7 hours at a time without getting an invite. So much so that I actually had to resort to trying to solo for my EXP back in the day. And when it takes like 5 to 10 minutes to kill a single thing to get 200 EXP, when you need like fucking 10, 20,000, yeah, you're gonna like, no, fuck this, not worth it. So, yeah, so I was already, feeling rather bummed out about that. So I ended up using my Samurai as a means to get myself the merit points that I needed. And then eventually I leveled Dancer to 37, like I said. And I had the Saburo Tsukihiro, which was an awesome great katana back in the day. I loved that thing. And I ended up using Samurai Dancer. And guess what? People questioned me. They're like, why are you using that? Samurai Warrior's so much better. And I'm like, well, Dancer uses TP to heal. It has evasion bonus. It has accuracy bonus. On top of that, I'm getting TP so fast that I'm still weapon skilling really fast, and I can heal you with the excess TP. So for me, it was like the perfect thing. Not only that, but it gave me the ability to solo extremely well. And what's funny is that, like, shortly after I started using Samurai Dancer, it became, like, not even a week later, it became the norm. Everybody was using Samurai Dancer. Like, literally, it was everywhere. I don't know if I'm the one that sparked it, or if I'm among the ones that pioneered it. I don't know. But I would like to think that I was one of the ones that pioneered Samurai Dancer. And then, eventually, I did level my Dancer all the way to 75 at the time. And I pretty much fell in love with Dancer. Now, I actually have a video on my YouTube channel called Serenia's Next Chapter, See Who I Am, which sort of, it was meant to represent my inner turmoil between my White Mage and Dancer, because, again, I was already distraught because no one was using White Mage for anything, and it was going to be about another year or two before SE finally realized the problem. And they did eventually buff White Mage to get it back into the normal things, and Scholar was a thing. Scholar was the final nail in my coffin, so to speak. Because I was still playing my White Mage. I was still clinging to it as strongly as I could. But what ended up happening is they released Scholar with Dancer. That both those came out with Wings of the Goddess. And the situation was, now you have Scholar who can flip between Black Mage stance and White Mage stance at will, pretty much. And they got a buff not even 2 weeks after their inception that gave them access to Addendum White and Addendum Black. Addendum White, when used with Light Arts, allowed them to cast all of my Nuh spells, every one of them. We're talking Stona, Paralina, Virana, even Erase. So they got to do all that without subbing White Mage. And on top of that, the way Light Arts works is it boosts all of their white-based magic skills. So curing, enhancing, enfeebling, those in Divine, it buffed those to B+. So they were about to, they had an adequate skill and all that. And then with, Light Arts in and of itself made it to where all white magic spells were 10% cheaper, faster, and cooled down 10% faster. So they were chain spellers, pretty much, just natively. So Scholars could out-heal pretty much anybody, as well as almost out-nuke Black Mages. So, for me, I was thinking, okay, no one's going to use White Mage ever again. Something's wrong here. This just ain't right. And it was that point that I dedicated myself to my Dancer. And I felt revitalized when I did that, because my Dancer could do everything I love doing as a white mage. It could melee without people bitching at me. It could heal very strongly. You know, and I was able to do what I love doing. I was able to support the party and fight at the same time, and no one cared. What's funny, though, is I have such a passion for healing, by the way, that I've actually had, back when I used to play Samurai Dancer, mind you, this was Samurai Dancer, not full Dancer, but Samurai Dancer. I have, you know, like, what I would do is, I would heal merit parties as my Samurai. I would fucking heal the merit party. So much so that I've actually had red mages and white mages alike leave the party, and then we would just replace them with DPS. So, like, the party would be, like, 5 DPS and a tank. And I would be, you know, sub-dancer, the only one that could heal. And I'm sitting there dealing damage, weapon skilling where I can, and healing as the main healer was sub-dancer. So, oh man, it was awesome when I was doing that. I loved every moment of it. So that's sort of what sparked the change to Dancer full-time back in the day. And, yeah, it was great. It was a great time. Like I said, eventually, though, they did buff White Mage, and they brought it back to the forefront. And, yeah. So, I did eventually start maining both my White Mage and Dancer once again, so... that was fun times. Fun times. Let's bring the pain on this guy right here. Come here, Sodden Bones. Come here. Stand still. Right there. Yeah. See, bones are weak to blunt. I have a blunt weapon. Ha ha ha! Bam! Yeah. Oh, Flood. Okay. If that's what you want to do. So, yeah, I mean, like... there's a lot of things, man, that I straight up love about this game, and I'm gonna miss it. I am gonna miss it. That's not even a question at this point. And you know, seasoning stone. But yeah, you know, so, I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm not just using sneak on these guys. Like, they're not even a threat. Like, what am I doing? I'm enjoying myself. That's what I'm doing. Just sitting back, kicking it, and relaxing. Though, I remember, though, man. Fang Saber. I actually remember back in the day, though, that I got really annoyed because I really badly wanted to use my Dancer in almost everything exclusively. But my Dynamis Link Shell at the time, they kept asking me to come White Mage to everything, and eventually I sort of like, I told them I wanted to use my Dancer more. And eventually I did start getting to use my Dancer there, too. And again, I started flipping back and forth. So, I don't know, man. This game means so much to me. It's hard to really put it into words at this point. Oh, right. She don't have eyes on the back of her head, does she? It'd be nice if she did. You know what? This one's gonna be for you, Andrew. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain! Mystic Boon! Bizonk! Oh, yes. Oh, that felt good. Exactly, man. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, my inventory's full. Oh, shit. Oh, no, not the bats. Anything but the bats. No. Guess I can get rid of the wild onions. Or eat one. That works, too. Shit, I forget how to discard. Boom, 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 boom. Bop, bop, smash, bam! Yeah. Fucking love that. Yeah. I don't even know if Andrew's Dreamer is still even here right now, man. What am I even doing here? Why? I seriously don't even know why I'm in freaking where am I? Tarai Canals. Why am I here? I don't know what I'm doing. Damn Zubats, exactly. Oh, man. I'll tell you though, man. Mystic Boom, when I first got that shit, that was awesome. Like, what that weapon skill does, Mystic Boom that is, it gives me mana back based on exactly how much damage I dealt. So that was awesome for me because that meant I got to exclusively use clubs at that point, and then I had a weapon skill very similar to the staff-based weapon skill Spirit Taker. So to me, that was awesome. Because that meant I didn't have very many mana problems from then on when I was meleeing. So, yeah, man. I'll tell you, Nizal Isle was a thing, though, because, like, oh, God. Anybody remember the WS&Ms? Weapon Skill Notorious monsters, basically, where in order to get weapon skills like Black Halo or Mystic Boon, unless you had the mythic weapon, that is, you actually had, basically what you would do is, you would have to, like, equip a certain weapon, and then you would have to do skill chains in order to get, I guess, points for your weapon to break its latent effect. And what would happen is, depending on what level of skill chain you did, you would get that many points. So, for example, if you just did a weapon skill, that was 1 point. If you closed a level 1 skill chain, you got 2. If you closed a level 2, you got 3. But if you closed a level 3 skill chain, you got 5. So that basically meant everybody was wanting to set up for a light skill chain or a dark skill chain. So I actually had friends of mine actually help me do a lot of light skill chains in order to get Mystic Boon. Sadly, though, in order to get that stuff, it depended on what floor you were on in Nizal Isle. So, like, if you were just starting out, you only had like 5 floors clocked under your belt or whatever, it would take you roughly 16,000 weapon skill points to get it. But if you were all the way at floor 100, it would only be like 200 weapon skills to do it. Now, fun fact, when I got Tachirana, which, by the way, I unlocked before Mystic Boon because, well, that's a thing. Because, alright, I got Tachirana when I was around level 50-ish on Nizal Isle. The first, like, what were they called? Assault, I think they were? Yeah, Assault. When I was doing those, the way that I got my Tachirana unlocked was freaking cool. Because, okay, let me put it like this. I farm in Upper Duckfoot's Tower a lot, or at least I used to. And I used my Samurai Dancer up in the, before. I used my Samurai Dancer up there a lot. And since they were easy prey, I was getting merits and EXP while I was doing this. While I was farming up there. And as a result, I could actually work on my weapon skills that way. So I was farming in Upper Duckfoot's Tower one day with my Samurai Dancer. And, I need this. Yeah. And what I would do is I would get 300 or 200 TP. I would use Seikanoki, and then I would use Tachiyuki Kaze, so that was 1 point. And then I would use Meditate into Tachigekko. Well, that would do a level 2 skill chain, which gave me 3 more points, so 4 points there. And then after that, if I did it right, I would have enough TP to weapon skill a 3rd time, Tachikasha. In which case, whenever I would do that, I would close my own 3-step light skill chain, which in effect gave me 9 weapon skill points every time I did it. It was awesome. And what made that fun, right? What actually made that a lot of fun for me is I got 9 skill chain points every time. Now, I want to point this into perspective. I needed at that time roughly 4,000 weapon skill points in order to unlock Tachirana. I did that in about 7 hours, just farming up Produktwood's Tower. And that was it. I did it in one day. 4,000 weapon skill points for my samurai. That was nuts. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. Okay, what in the world am I doing here? I think this is where you would go... I think this is where you would go in order to do a few battlefields. So let's see here. Can I even do any of the battlefields right now? I don't know if I can or not. If I can, I'll do one. You're in here, can show it tomorrow. Oh. Or is this just going to be the exit? I don't even remember. Oh. I can do that. Let's try that. Because I'm not sure what this is. I really don't remember what Bataru Royal is. So this might go extremely bad or extremely awesome. Let's hope for the latter, guys. I'm gonna bring out some trust just because I'm not sure on that one. Oh, can't use trust in this battlefield. Oh, crap. So whatever this is, I got a solo. I don't know what this is. I legitimately don't know what this is. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. I should probably cast Stone Skin. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, Stone Skin, baby. I might! I have no idea what this even is, man! That's a lot of clones. Oh my god, what is this? What am I doing? Well, I guess let's just see what happens. Might not be that bad. I don't even remember. Like I said, I don't know what the hell this is, man. Oh, hi, Titan. You gonna use Earth and Fury? Is that it? That's exactly what it is. That did nothing.